Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
We need to start, though, with what we know now to be true, and that is a big piece of this show, or at least a big influence on this show from when Nick Paulus and myself did it, and even when you've been on it, Jay. Jarvis Landry signs a one-year reported $6 million deal with his hometown New Orleans Saints. So he moves on, and Jay, I'll kind of open the floor to you first. Your thoughts just on Jarvis. What do you want to say to him, and how much do you think this team may miss that type of leadership in this locker room?
Well, I mean, as you could see when we put our cartoon figurines up, I got the Jarvis jersey on it. Like, I love Jarvis Landry, what he brought here on the field, off the field, in the locker room. Like, the guy meant everything to this team. It was so huge in the turnaround of our culture of our team. He just did amazing things about our city. His softball game was just one of the most fun events I've ever gone to, and it just showed how much Cleveland truly loved Jarvis Landry. That day I was just like, yeah, he's one of us. And he may be gone, but he'll always be a Clevelander without a doubt. And Jarvis, the best of wishes to you. I'm so glad you got to go home and play football for a team you probably grew up rooting for. Nothing but the best wishes to you, bud.
Now, audio, I mean, we talked about Jarvis so many times, Peter, on the show. It's just, it felt like that bless them mentality. I couldn't dig that out of the closet today, so I did like a United type shirt here today because there's a bunch of Browns fans all around. You probably see them a little bit behind us. We got a different little setup with the cameras, but I mean, Jarvis is a guy that the bless them mentality was something that we took on and kind of almost brought a different life to here on Voice of the Land, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's disappointing that he's not back because I think he did really do a lot to change the culture, and I'm forever grateful as a Browns fan for that. But I get it. I understand that the Browns, they're trying to go a little bit younger in the wide receiver room, and we've got a lot of young talent. How many veterans do we need? It would have been nice to see him back just because he's just off the field. He's just such a huge personality, just such a great guy. So, best of luck to him, except for when, we play, because we played the Saints.
We play the Saints second to last game?
I think so.
Isn't that Christmas Eve? I believe that's Christmas Eve. Yeah.
So I'm hoping Jarvis maybe decides to take a day off and spend it with his family instead.
Yeah, he should spend Christmas Eve with his family.
But he's going to get a great reception here.
Yeah.
And I would be absolutely shocked if there were any sort of boos for him being announced, or I feel like Browns fans are even going to see him make a catch if he's in that game, and still
he'll never be
still
booed
cheer.
in that stadium.
No, I don't think he'll ever get booed because he didn't lead. It wasn't him.
Right.
It wasn't. He didn't make the decision. It wasn't
right
broadcast like that. His contract was up. They didn't come to terms. It seems like it was pretty amicable.
Right.
So. Yeah, I think he's going to have a heck of a reception when he gets here. I think there's a lot of fans that are just
He's
huge.
one of those players you will be forever able to wear his jersey.
I think so.
And
I hope so. I mean, I bought it last year.
Yeah, I have a couple Jarvis jerseys in the closet too. So that is a jersey that you can wear forever. And like Peter was just saying, he didn't leave on bad terms. And now, from a business standpoint, did he maybe overvalue himself for what the production and the unfortunate injuries the last couple of years? Probably. From a market standpoint, probably. But I don't want to, kind of downplay what Jarvis was and what type of player he is. He's going back home where he feels comfortable to do a prove-it deal, just like we've seen so many other veteran players do in the NFL over the course of
Clowney with us last year.
Clowney is the best example from recent history. Prove-it deal, and I don't know if he's. We'll get into him a little bit later with maybe some of our guests or just kind of in our just our talk segments. But, I don't know if he's waiting for – there's just like a handshake deal and they're just kind of like waiting until, he comes in, he feels comfortable working out or whatever. I don't know. But Jarvis has taken that prove-it deal and, get himself healthy. He's playing in a dome half the year. So I think that's going to be a big move for him. For me – and this show, I mean, bless him wasn't just something for this show. I don't know if I've ever told you, Jay, but when I was coaching soccer in Wycliffe, I used that phrase with our high school team. And, I mean, the girls, like, bought into it. Mm-hmm. They were, in practice, good plays, like celebrations, like they were doing, like, the praying hands together and kind of, like, mouthing bless them or, kind of coming up to me. And it was kind of like a rallying cry. It wasn't just impacting inside the locker room in Berea and at First Energy Stadium. It was, it was all around. It was for fans everywhere.
Well, I mean, perfect example. His impact goes far beyond the football field for this city.
Yeah.
It really does.
It absolutely does. And that's why, so many Browns fans are probably, upset to finally see the news that it's real, that he's not coming back. But we all kind of had a sense he wasn't coming back. But again, the impact that he had, and this doesn't – it helped with the whole Hard Knocks thing. I don't know how you guys feel about that or how time has changed your thoughts on that when he did that speech with, it's contagious, bro, it's contagious. Getting guys that are just nicked up a little bit here and there that are just collecting a paycheck and sitting out of games. If you could play, if you were well enough to play, go out there and play is what he was saying. But my connection with him, the show's connection with him, why we appreciated Jarvis was not just from seeing that, because that could always be, Hollywoodized on a TV show. He was that way all the time, and it was the moments that you saw it genuine that was the starting point, but it really sunk in for us when we saw it when the cameras weren't rolling. I don't know how you feel about that moment. I think that's where maybe a lot of people's fandom comes from, and that's where they harken back to. I try not to because that's not what.
Honestly, I never watched Hard Knocks. I've only seen the clips of that.
It's the first moment, but it's not what defines Jarvis's time here in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. I just remember his play on the field was amazing to me. I remember the catch against Carolina when he split the two defenders. Just that first game Baker's first game against the Jets, and he was just catching touchdowns over people, just snatching them right over their head.
Yeah.
I just love the way he plays, man.